it's just spinning. Wait, it's live, it's working, okay. Let's see this. Let me know if you see it spinning. Okay. Better let it
He's got a job.
I got a job.
It almost spinning.
Okay.
And then tracks, no change, as where it was the last report.
It's been 23 years.
Next up is Park. Okay, so work. The new sink faucet has been installed on the deep sink. Their water heater's been hooked up and has hot water. We passed the inspection with the Board of Health. We saved the town $400 because the inspection goes under the 501(c)(3), it's free, as opposed to the town paying $400 for it. So that's a little money we saved. The foam party and movie night was rescheduled due to it went to 8/8/28. Was a success. They had the foam party from 2 to 5, and we had the movie from 8:30 to 10:30, and they watched the new Super Mario Brothers. It was a fun night for everybody. It was a long day. The water pressure in the lady sink has been repaired. The estimate came in for the electrical work, which we're going to look at fundraising to take care of that. That we can take care of with the 501(c)(3) that's different meeting. It was $1,150 is what he estimated to hook up the freezer and to put plugs on that south wall. The County Board of Health was supportive of our lemon shake-up fundraising. We did lemon shake-ups at the park. We bought the setup to do the lemons and pulverizing. And shout out to Sam Mitchell, who sponsored the water for the event. Thank you, Culligan. Tractor Supply has asked us to set up on Saturday, August the 15th. That would be the Town of Advent Park was asked to set up and do lemon shake-ups in Lebanon. So that's a good traffic area, so hopefully that'll be a little bit of money for the park. And we have a booth in the Jamestown Apple Festival, October the 3rd for lemon shake-ups. And then Wall Street Treats will also be there. And we're gonna set them up right next to us, so if they need any help, we can go over and help them. And that's it for the park department. Thank you to our grooming people. The park looked nice for the foam party and for the movie night.
Question. The grant for the solid waste district, have you guys done anything with that at all?
Yes, they're working on it. I think what they're gonna do, they're trying to get prices right now, is they found a water fountain with a dog water bowl on the bottom that's made out of recycled materials. It's 80% recycled, and it was like $8,000 plus for us to install it. We have to pay for the installation, but they're working on that. They have it in hand, and
There's a certain time limit of when that.
right, they know they're on the timeline.
Well, they get that in the timeline, like last year, it didn't make the timeline.
Yeah, it's, I will go back, Lindsay and Leah are working on that. I will make sure that when I go home and talk to Scott tonight, that we've got it through the chain of
Yeah,
command.
because the billing has to be within a certain time frame.
Right, I understand.
Is the 2,000 covered in the grant, or is that something you would have to cover?
The,
Installation,
we would have to cover that.
okay, so
We're not gonna expect the town to pay for that,
okay,
but, we're looking at fundraising to do all that.
Okay.
Because we know there's no money coming our way.
Have you talked to Greater Jamestown for funding or?
Not yet, that's
The
the,
Community Foundation or, there's a lot of organizations out there.
I'll catch you after the meeting and, they're working on fundraising.
Or what the Community Foundation, or the Jamestown Foundation has, there's a, or we get, I think we used to get it from Jamestown Library, I don't know if it's available or not anymore. I'll give you contact information of people on the board.
Okay.
And Brad, those people on the board at the community foundation, and there's a lot of areas out there. There's a tremendous number of businesses in Lebanon that should be able to help.
Okay, it's not a done deal, it's just, they planned it, they figured out what they wanted, and, they're trying to get it done.
Okay. As long as you're gonna use the money, I don't care.
We're not gonna lose it.
Utility contractor reports. Yeah.
Both water, wastewater plants are running as they should with no violations to report. We do have a well pump that has failed and could possibly, could be a possible issue caused by lightning. The pump quit on July 31st, and that was the night we had storms. Peerless was notified, and provided a quote for possible insurance claim, but also said that if it is a motor issue, it should be covered by the warranty. The only way to determine the fault is to pull the pump. When we pull the pump, we will go ahead and install a new pump at the same time to reduce the cost. A crane must be brought in to pull the pump. Gallons pumped for July were 1,670,000. Bill was, sorry. I have a report here. I have 742,400 for a 66% difference.
Under that, it says, the approval for the crane to pull the pump, and we get a motion to,
So I talked to Troy Bates, I want to make sure we had understanding of it.
Right.
So he said if they were to bring the crane out and just pull it out and inspect it, that's 10 grand. If they pull it out and put a new pump in, then it's only $6,000 for the crane and then the cost of the pump.
Right.
But I've already opened up a claim with our insurance company, but I haven't moved forward until they tell us that's what the problem is. But if it's from a storm, then it's gonna,
we still got
or if it's faulty
we still got
equipment, they will cover it on board, because they just put it in October.
you still need to approve that process of pull the old one, put the new one in. But we may end up, might.
We may end up having to do that.
So, can you get a motion to approve it? That if they order the crane, it's cheaper to pull it and put the new one in one trip versus pull it out and say, okay, this is bad, and come back out again.
No, then they're gonna go ahead and just put a new one in and see
Right.
which way we need to go with the.
Right, exactly.
So do we want to approve the crane if needed, because if it's under warranty, I think we'll cover that crane cost.
We should approve the process.
Yeah.
The motion to approve the process. Remove it. Put the new in.
So, how much is it now?
The crane would be $6,000,
6,000.
just for the crane by itself, and not the part, yeah.
Until we figure out if it's insurance or
Or warranty.
warranty.
Right.
And we might not owe it. Just,
We might not owe it.
if it's insurance, we'll owe it.
Or just, or
The insurance
deductible.
might relate to
The warranty should cover everything.
Mhm.
I'll make a motion.
On first, say aye. First, probably schedule it for more, I think.
He said after I let him know what you guys decide today, we just wanted to talk, he wanted me to talk with you about it and then let him know, and then they'll be out this week to replace it. Because he's worried, since we only have one pump working, if something happens to that, we're in big trouble.
I understand.
Yeah, so, and those are so expensive.
I would have approved it last week, but it's, the full pump, but it's $6,000 to full pump. I'm only good for five.
Just put the fire truck out there. Someone decide.
Okay, contractor, next up.
Everybody's a lot of weeding on, spray weed, all that good stuff. We replaced the meter lid and fixed the leak in the pit, at 201 North Main. There was another one that I just put a lid on because, Emba, can't remember where it's, oh, pretty much the next door, Pretty much because they were putting a pole up, and to get the other pole, they were cutting the other pole down, and the pole fell and hit the meter, busted the meter. I just went and replaced it, no big deal. Upcoming jobs, mowing, weeding. I have, one here on Cherry Street that I have to, raise a little bit. When they did the, did the street, they made it sink in a little bit. He wanted it up, I said, yeah, we can do that. He asked me last meeting, I said, he has to get a color in town brought it in, so, and they did it.
You should work there for it.
Yes. Not this weekend, but last weekend, Sunday morning, I was, called by Jim. We had a tree down over here on Wall Street with power lines and the tree. And what was called, I was called. We cleaned it up Sunday. I went back Tuesday to clean it up, and apparently the, landowner decided to clean it up. So we didn't have to do that, so that's a good thing.
I said, when the tree was down, it was blocking the street, so I had him go put the safety barricades up, and then after him, fix the power lines, they cut the trees and place it off the street, and then those that are out of the street are the one are responsibility, so.
We have Carla, I'm sorry, Sherry, we also need to work on that.
I may have Carla call you just so we put them in, right?
Yeah, Jim,
I called Carla and asked her to do that.
She hasn't done it yet.
No.
Okay.
we're not gonna, unless you did it and I haven't got it, because that has happened.
It has, yeah. Okay, I'll check it. Add that on my to-do list.
Later on this month, I am going to start, I haven't been pumping the tanks here lately. The main reason I want to start getting it, the main reason is because, the gas prices. Trying to save the town money because after, I can't remember what the price was, but we were over the price and it was a surcharge. I didn't want to charge the town for the surcharge, so I want to get back on the schedule because the fuel prices are going down, so we wouldn't have to put the fuel surcharge, just trying to save some money. So we will get in time but we will get back up and running. And probably what I'm hoping to do is after I get scheduled, I want to do all of them, but I also want to do November and December before the weather breaks so that we don't have the problem of what we had last year is too cold to do it. So that's my plan for right now.
Okay, anything else?
No, we're good.
Okay, info?
3 service requests were done in July, 1 emergency was reported in July, and 11 poles were replaced, working on the Comcast main.
Okay, now, commissioner's report, well, I got some good stuff for you guys. It was mentioned last meeting about small nuclear reactors. Well, you know how many small nuclear reactors are actually working? 3, 4.
That's close.
4, and all 4 of them are small. Then all 4 of them are basically slated for military, because they talk about putting them on C1 or on a cargo thing, and they're, the one is about 100 megawatts, which is about equivalent to a Caterpillar generator, and it was like 5, maybe some kind of a battery reactor stuff that's only good for 5 years. It'll go in a container, and there's 2 others that are small. They're just basically working, but they're not very big. So the reality of these small nuclear reactors is in the future. Now, there's a town in Kansas where they're talking about putting a nuclear reactor in a well, not a well, but drilling a hole in the ground, dropping the reactor down that hole. What they're saying is, when the fuel runs out, it's still a hole back. And the people counter a little bit of that. I wouldn't get you.
And that's in Kansas.
That's in Kansas, yes. Also, we're talking about that. There's a lot of demand of the power grid because of the AI type data centers all over the country. That's why they're trying to reactivate a lot of old nuclear reactors that are being shut down. These companies are buying these reactors, like the 3 mile ones. One, I think it's Google or Amazon, one of the two is buying the reactor there at 3 Mile and part of backup. They just shut it down because everybody's screaming and yelling about it. There's nothing wrong with the reactor. When they upgrade them up, you bring them up to modern standards. The thing is, everybody worries about nuclear bombs. It's like anything else, as long as it's in the bottle, it doesn't hurt anybody. The only time I hurt somebody, something gets out of the bottle. And the people who run the show for the bottle are the ones we have to watch. So there's a lot of controversy at state, federal levels. Our local government, the state of Indiana is looking to not shut down any coal-fired plants right now because of the fact that we don't have anything to replace them. They were one at Mobiles Valley, which is Whitewater Valley, which is actually, I think, Richmond, Indiana. They were going to shut that one down, but it wasn't because of the fact that there was any problem with the EPA or anybody like that. It's just that the maintenance of the facility was so high, it wasn't cost effective. So they were using that kind of a backup power. And when it's a system works, they monitor really closely. And as the demand rises, they bring systems on. Some of the systems bring on quickly are the natural gas lines. They can run them up in about an hour or two and bring them on. The only problem is during a major demand for natural gas, they may shut up the natural gas generating plants and they have to use a backup diesel. Backup diesel is only good for 55 hours. So at that point in time, so if you saw that there's a couple of times we got some warnings about backing off a little bit on the power. We weren't in any real trouble. There's 5 levels and we were like a level 2. When we get to level 3 or 4, that's when it gets really bad. You get to 5, that's when you start shutting major businesses. Like it would be somewhere, people like major steel mills and stuff like that would shut down because they demand so much electric power. And there are other types of businesses, oil refiners and stuff like that, we shut down because of the demand they have. So we're not there yet. There's so much demand on the grid, and they're building the grid. If you drive on 11, you're seeing they're putting their power lines everywhere and increase the size of the power line. That's just for what the crazy stuff is going on in this district. And that's just part of the big picture nationwide. That's all I got for an input. It's picture doesn't look too good for the future. I'm going to invest in Canada.
You must be right.
Canada. Okay, next up is
It's, appointment to the county emergency advisory.
okay, appointment to emergency manager, appointment to county emergency advisory council. I'm not sure exactly what that is or what it's for. We haven't had it before, but they're saying we need one.
I think the count, so for IC code 10-14-3-17, County Emergency Management Advisory Council, local emergency management organizations, power political subdivisions, public work. They highlighted the County Emergency Management Advisory Council consists of the following individuals or their designees. An individual representing section C, or an individual representing the legislative bodies of all towns in the county. So they said, in essence, you've already been filling that role, but they need to have a formal motion that we be on that.
Okay.
And they just need meeting minutes to verify that we did that.
Make a motion, put them on advisory.
On fair say aye. Can do it.
I know, that's not, well, whoever was running it was supposed to have something drafted, and they didn't, and somebody else figured it out.
Well, like Martin Burns for years, he did a really good job of getting grants and stuff in the state. And everybody else, I mean, he did a fantastic job.
So I don't know if it was just some
This
board.
new lady that came in there, this Megan Bonte, I don't think she'll, don't see that she'll last for long. She doesn't appear to me to be a really good direct replacement. But maybe we'll say, years after, maybe we'll see what she does first time we need her.
It just has to.
Maybe
And I agree that Mike was amazing.
I told her that unless somebody had a person in for me, told her that. I did a great job. For not to mess up with, I'll get her. Water audit agreement.
So,
Water loss audit agreement.
yeah, so I did the water loss audit for the town, and we worked within the parameters of acceptable on our, once I completed the report. But we have to have, the audit validated. So Sherry, who's done work for us before, Sherry Winters used to live here, she did the validation, so she made, she went through and made sure I completed it correctly, and then signed off on it, so we just need to approve her.
A motion to approve the water audit agreement.
Motion. Yeah, either one of them.
For me to sign it.
Jim signed it.
Did you second that, Bill?
Yeah. Okay, all fair say aye. Confusion, who was first and second?
That was two.
Okay. Next up is fire.
5 EMS runs, 2 fires, 2 false alarms, 7 canceled, 1 hazmat, 1 rescue, 3 motor vehicle accidents, and 1 person distressed.
Just a description of what those cancels are. A lot of times we get called to assist other departments. And before we get there, we're canceled. That's like, we had an alarm recently, fire alarm. Thank you.
You missed one on here,
What's that?
the cat.
That's the rescue.
It's in there.
Oh, is that the rescue?
That's the.
That's the real question.
So I'm sorry that I disrupted, but somebody said about the cat and
Concern. It really was a kitty that got rescued.
There was a cat in a tree.
would you like to know what it says? Would you like to know what it says?
Yeah.
It's that last mile.
No,
This is, I've been here for 10 years, and I've never,
George and Jeff Randall rescued the cat out of the tree. They had to come where the tree did to get the cat out.
You leave it alone, it can
that's what I found it.
be.
Okay,
We get hungry, it can.
I'm not gonna do the address, but cat in tree and fell into the hollowed out portion at the top of the tree.
So they climb up the tree, cut part of the tree down, so that you can get the cat out of that portion.
And I personally decided that I was not going with that because due to the fact of,
I was too excited. Okay. Next up is a lit paperwork for the county meeting. What it is the county council approved a modification in the lit tax for volunteer fire departments on the west side of the county because of the Lake District has pushed a lot of pressure on us to, like I said, in 2023, we had 148 runs, in 2025, we had 260. So we had an increase in runs, and we have a lot of financial responsibilities. For number one, I got 12 sets of turnout gear I need to replace this year, $40,000, I have no money to do it. So if we get this passed, I can replace that turnout gear. I gotta go before the Zionsville Council to ask them to help us with that. It has to be approved by 50% of the population of the county. Our population percentage is less than 1%. So Thornton might be about 1%, Jamestown less than 1%. So they also have Mulewood and Lebanon and Whitestown. So if Whitestown does it, then we're okay, or if Zionsville does it, we're good because the population out there is now between that and 14%. So if Zionsville approves it, we don't have to worry about anybody else, but I'm not looking for that to happen. So, yeah, motion to approve the, what's it say? Do I have to read it?
That's down, your introduction, so I'll read it.
Okay, Ms. Teddy wants about police department code enforcement.
I don't have a code enforcement update. I don't know, did Tom Witz ever send 407 letter, you know?
Not to me,
He told me it was under. I figured he'd talk to you about it.
no, didn't say a thing.
All right, we had 3 runs last month, had a good month. One was a sex offender. Someone called in and said he was living in a tent on an address off of Nicely Street. I already heard about this. Someone in town had a video of a kid walking through town in the middle of the night. I got him on their ring camera. I immediately knew who the kid was and knew he was a sex offender. He was within a quarter block of this address where the caller had called in. And one of his victims lives at that house, so he's not supposed to be in the area. Did some checking on it, found that he had, let's stay in Marion County, reported that address, that he was living in the tent at that address to Marion County, but he has 2 days to change his address to Boone County when he moves here, and he didn't do that, so. We're waiting on a warrant for that. I went and talked to the family whose backyard he was living in. Now that they know that I'm watching that, he hasn't been back. But for some reason, this kid can't do the right thing, so. We had an extra patrol, somebody marked out checking an address at 6:20 in the morning in Maine and Wall. I don't know what they were doing. And then someone called in, called animal control, wanted to surrender a dog. That was like 3 months last month. The house over on Thompson Street, Dale, your mom and dad's old house there. The attorneys have got involved. They're trying to divide the property up. There was a girl that lived there that passed away, had no will. So right now everything's cordial. The judge has made a ruling on who's in charge of divvying the property up. So right now it's in check. Reserve program, the last month's been a rough month to try to get people together, with a lot of people taking vacations right before school goes back and stuff. I talked to Amy tonight about it. I'll get her the number for the Danville attorney that we're talking about, that MOU that needs to be done. Mileage on the 2024 Ford, 38,239 last month was 37,612. That's a little over 600 mile increase in a month. And the Tahoe mileage is the same as last month. That's all I got.
Okay, I would ask you to more aggressively pursue weeds, grass, and junk cars, more aggressively, especially on the junk cars. And if possible, assist with the condemnation of some properties in town, with working with the county planning commission and the health department. You know what I'm saying? There's some property we need to do that, and I think that if I had them contact you, it'd be more availability. Because some of them, I think, are actually warranted in the properties. And that would be a place like that.
I had a couple that I got mowed. I've had contact every month and mow the grass, so.
Yeah.
A couple of them that I've been trying to stay on top of. If you got any addresses, let me know where you think you can.
Okay, I'm just saying, you know, you're around town, just,
Right now, there's, I brought my weed eater uptown. I was gonna weed eat along Main Street. I did that once before, and then everybody else started weed eating, but the weeds and stuff right now are really bad with the heat and everything.
yeah.
It looks terrible from the street.
Okay.
Are we doing anything with Bob Hill's house? Are we?
Well, that's one of the ones I'd like to work with the county to, try and get it condemned, which to me, a condemnation means either fix it up or tear it down. I don't care which way, just make it better than it is.
You know what agency I would talk to about that?
Health Department would be one, I'm not sure there's a difference there, and the director of the planning for Indiana Boone County. She would probably send a building inspector out that may have to get a warrant.
ABC?
Yeah.
He comes and inspects my house every week. Maybe he can do it while he's there.
That's a possibility.
Kirby.
Yeah.
Just, I said there's a few houses here in town that just need to be fixed or taken apart.
Just on the side where I'm building at, there's 5 or 6 holes in the walls that are huge. It's not gonna stand much longer.
Understand? And like I said, I don't care if they tear it down or fix it up, just do something with it.
They always wait till the last minute to do it.
Okay. If there's any problem, then let me know with the APC or the health department.
All right.
I'll be more than happy to talk to them.
No problem.
Okay. Old business, Dora. We didn't do anything with that right now, Brad.
I don't think so.
The reserves, we can't do anything until we get an MOU, right?
Exactly, right.
Wastewater and sewer districts. Reserves until we get an MOU, there's nothing to talk about.
No, I meant the door.
What about the door?
I don't know, I just understood that there were some questions or something that we needed to chat about.
There's a question about the door that we need to address.
Not that I'm aware of.
I think, I'm trying to remember, so I think the ordinance is drafted, we have the ordinance ready to go, I think we're waiting on, just an overall decision if you want to move forward, but we need a few pieces of information for it. One is we need the businesses that want to participate to fill out the state forms that Sherry can submit, with the ordinance. And then also, I know I got a map from you, Brad, I think one thing that we just need to discuss if you want to move forward, one thing to talk about is how to delineate on your actual property where the door will start and stop, because that's important. Like you have to put like a rope around it. I think the map that I saw, it ended maybe right, like in the middle of the parking lot or something, so it wasn't really a clear, delineation. So if you want it to be that, you just have to talk about how to delineate it, and then.
We don't sell alcohol in my business, so I'm not interested really.
Okay.
I know Kyle does, I know his license doesn't let him have carry out, so he's a little uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
But I think the biggest reason why we do the door is that it's permanent outdoor drinking area, right?
Designated outdoor refreshment area.
So, I think what we really wanted it was for a one-time a year thing.
Yeah.
And I think, we're planning the festival for next year. I think if we could do the things the same way we did it last year, if we can do that, I think that would be sufficient.
And I don't think we should have done that last year.
Why?
Not that, I'm talking about the beer, because I had Dora. You don't?
No.
Okay, well, then we're not.
Yeah, I think as long as we do the tent, we do the tent thing and we rope it off.
You don't need to just put the tent like
Yeah.
you did. Yeah, and if you have a beer garden, that's the end of it there, and then you have a license from the person that, we don't need to go.
They can get a one-day license and then can go from there.
No, we hired somebody to come in and do it, they took care of the license and all that stuff.
Right.
So if it comes up again, I've got a little folder of all the paperwork.
So at this point in time, Dory is
Yeah.
dead.
Okay.
Reserves are waiting on the MOU, and the water and wastewater district. Now I got a lot of questions. Amy,
Yes.
we as a board do not have the time to go knock on this door. What can we do other than that? Can we hire a contractor to do it? But do we have to do that or send out letters or what?
Your goal is that you want these people to sign these letters, so, you can do it in whatever way you think is feasible. You could divide it up and make calls, you could hire
We're
a
not gonna do that.
contractor to do it.
Board's not gonna do that, we don't have time.
Okay, you could hire somebody to do it, to take these around and discuss it with them. You could send a letter out to them and ask them to sign the letter and send it back to you, or you could send a letter asking them to come into the office and sign the letters. I mean, however you really think you could get the job done, the goal is just to get the people identified in the area as the crossover area where Lebanon could also serve, to indicate that they want to go with the town. And that, I don't know that it's absolutely imperative to have that, but Dave McGinsey believes that it would be helpful in the IURC hearing if we had letters showing that the citizens support, because that's one of the factors they consider is, choice, customer choice.
I have an idea. I could send out a letter, and I like the idea of having them come to the office.
Yeah.
So that way we can talk to them about it a little bit on your behalf. I'd rather than talk to you guys, but, and then, who we don't hear back from, then take that group and make calls for business, because it would be a smaller number.
So it's too much for us to try to do. All of us have other jobs.
I know, I was just trying to.
Sam's got business, Deal's got business, she's got business, got a part of it, driving me crazy right now. And we got community building, power upgrades, water sewer district, cancer gas, Comcast agreement, master plan, community prosecution plan, sewer plan upgrade, and vendor contracts towards the end of the year, so we got a lot to do. This is just a part-time job, but this is a full-time aspect.
Just put in the letter that if they don't sign it, send it back.
Don't go to Lebanon.
Somebody's gonna come to their house and knock on the door.
Jim, might want to also go through that letter, that list and see, some of them are like the fire department's one. You know, I mean, some of them are sort of easy to get, you could
We
knock some of
looked
those
at
out.
it and
Fairly
it's
easy.
a lot more extensive than what we thought. I thought it was 30 or 40, like 7 or 8.
Yeah, there's a lot of property on there. And then some of them have multiple parcels. Yeah.
What do you need about it?
And that's my other question, what would you want, because I know I have the ideas.
Well, it's your time, Mike. I mean, as quickly as you want to get this done, you know, this process is just the beginning of it. And then the
Okay,
hearing
so
for the IRC takes a long time.
let's say-
So it's up to you.
We'd like to have the information back to us by November 1st. There we go. Well, it's okay, yeah, you gotta have it any goal. Then we'd like to have it sooner, if we had sooner, we'd like sooner, but if we don't have by November 1st, we'll have to do something else.
I will draft a letter. I'll draft a letter and have you review it and then send it out. Does that sound okay?
Sound okay, guys?
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say, we need some kind of a letter at this point.
I'll draft it. I'll draft it and have you review it and then send it to you guys.
Yeah,
Didn't have exactly where they should be at, telling these people.
right. I took
Your
your sign.
scientists, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I took one to Western Boone and gave it to the superintendent, and explained to him what was going on. The thing is, Western Boone needs water, but are they gonna take water from the Lake District, or gonna take water from Maddox? That's their job, to us, because it may be cheaper for the school district to pay going from the Lake District, because it's like 3 or 4 miles from the water, it's where it'd be 4 miles from us. And even at that, they probably have to put a water card, then they still won't have to put a water card, there to do the Lake District. Depending on there may be a water card close, but just use the water card. So, a lot of our, and the thing is, a lot of. We need one, or I can sign that right away. We don't want to let them water. We want to let the sewer, we want to let water.
I'll help you do it if they let me do it. Can I do it in a police car again?
We'll leave you where you're best.
Couple of houses that I have.
Sorry, that just struck me down.
Okay, so we're gonna draft a letter, explain it to them, and they're gonna come to the office. Insurance gonna explain it to them again, we're gonna try to get as many people as possible. The goal of having all this,
And if I don't feel comfortable, like if they have a lot of questions, I'll work back and I refer them to you, just at least explain.
okay, we're
That'd
good.
be good, okay.
Okay. Okay, guys? Consensus?
Yes.
We're good. Okay, next up, new business.
So cyber, so I got an additional quote. I had a guy come out and do a proposal and he never, or do an assessment, never gave me a proposal. But I was in a webinar due to the cyber attacks on a lot of municipal water infrastructures that have been happening lately. The state called an emergency meeting. IoT, Indiana Office of Technology, and I don't know why I didn't think of them. So I reached out to them, and I wanna see what the state can do for us, because they've been good with our emails and our website reasonableness. So I'm gonna get that, and then I will present everything.
And people say, well, they're not gonna attack anyways because they're small. That's not the way it works. These people and these have a computer program that scans everything possible, and they look for a crack in your system.
My neighbor board.
Any crash in your system, and they don't care who they catch. There's little towns, it tells us they're gonna shut our whole system down if we don't give them $50,000 for it. And there's, I think the city of Atlanta told them no, and ended up costing like $15 million to rebuild their system. So, we've got a lot of cybersecurity things in place right now, doesn't mean we don't have a crack, but they get smarter and tougher every day.
So anyway, I'm gonna see what the state can do for us, and after the webinar, there's a lot of good information, so I will bring that next month.
What's this requirement for joining the APC, if I've ever heard of it?
No, I need this to address that.
What?
I need this, that we were waiting on the.
Okay.
I think this means requirements for withdrawing from the agency,
Okay.
right? Is that what you're?
Oh, sorry, I said it backwards, I'm sorry.
Because
We'll
you're
talk
already,
about that.
We're already in it.
And there's a certain number of people we have to have on the local planning board, and we have to have building inspectors, and planners and stuff. And, am I right?
yes, you're right, yeah, so you have to have, you have to have some staff, you have to have somebody that's like a planning director, sort of to oversee these things, you have to have a building inspector, you can contract with someone, I mean, they don't have to be a town employee, but, and then you have to have a municipal plan commission and an advisory board of zoning appeals. You know, this is like the statutes that Jim was talking about earlier, I mean, if you decide to go this way, you don't really have a choice, this is how you have to establish it, and so the municipal plan commission, you need 7 members for. 3 of them can be elected or appointed municipal officials or employees, and 4 can be citizen members. And then you need a board of zoning appeals with 5 members. 3 citizen members, 1 can be a plan commission member, one citizen member that's not on the plan commission, and then another citizen member.
I mean,
So, yeah.
We're
7
not-
and 5 is the number.
I don't think we have enough people to do all that silly stuff. And it takes money to do it, but I have people with money to do it right now. Maybe down the road, I heard rumor that foreign towns moving back to county APC
Yes.
because they haven't done
They
it.
couldn't afford it.
They couldn't afford doing it. So, I don't know what you guys think,
So
but
the state law you gotta have.
Yeah.
You gotta be, all this is state law.
Yes.
When did that happen? Last time that's the last research I did, that there was no state law saying that you have to be within this year, having an EPC or anything.
You have to have one or the other. I mean, you can have no planning at all, but then you don't have any control over what anybody does, you know, with regard to building or anything, the town would have any say. With permitting or anything like that, or inspections. But if you wanna have oversight in your planning, then you can either go with the area planning law, which is what you guys do with the county, or choose to have the advisory committee, which requires that plan commission and EPA.
the requirements that we have are different than the county right now. Can we modify those plans to make it a lot easier for us to do business? Because right now it's not that easy.
Well, it depends who you're modifying. You do have your own ordinance, I mean, the county enforces your ordinance, and you have a say over that ordinance, yes, it's your ordinance.
Right.
When it comes to like modifying the statutory requirements, you can't do that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm
Like,
talking about the actual requirements inside.
like setbacks, you know, those kind of things, yes, yeah, that's your ordinance.
And
That's-
the thing is, what's happened in the past is the county has rejected some of the plans for kind of unknown reasons. And I'm thinking if we did some things with our, one of the things where Brad's building a house down there. He's got to be 16 foot over the, or 16 inches above the street. Why? We have good stormers. I've seen that on the country, but why anyways, good stormers, why? So I'm thinking maybe we need to have a discussion with them about what the rules are, and change the rules to make to meet our requirements and force them to be more communicative to what we need, not what the county wants to do. You know what I'm saying, Dave? Cut them off at the
The
knees.
county's full, I mean, what, all the crap they made me do was just ridiculous.
Well, and
And
another,
I'm against it 100%, I don't care what everybody says.
I think was brought up in another meeting, Dan or Brad or somebody was talking about having a checklist. And that they go through that checklist and they do everything, but the problem is do you guys think you're done? And then they say, well, you need to do this, and then, oh, you need to do this. If they had a checklist, there's no question, right?
Well, not really, because of the fact that you do that checklist to come back and consider, give you.
Well, I know, but that's right, and if we had something,
And I'm thinking if we take a look at what we have on our requirements, we modify our requirements, tell them they have to communicate better with us. But I think that's the biggest problem, they're not communicating properly. Dale, I know for a fact, he sent his requirements to the state's group, and they can't come back and reject it. It's never happened, never happened. If it's passed by the state, it should be good, right, Dale?
You would think,
is it Nicole or maybe not?
and the other part, the other is, why does the state care about me because of
Property tax.
Is that some kind of new code, you gotta be 16 inches above the street?
No, it's been like that for a few years.
Oh, really?
7 years, it's all floods. That's why if you've seen the house over there on Middle Jamtown Road, right there in front of,
And I think we need to invite the, director of the area planning to our next board meeting, discuss our issues with them, and say that we would like to possibly modify our requirements to make it more streamlined and less doable. That's the thing that upsets me. I know when Brad opened his place up, the director at that time told him to build someplace else because they had to put in place a restaurant. Well, it's too bad, because it's one of the best restaurants in the county right now. So, that kind of stuff, I'm not happy with what we've had in the past, but we do need to have certain standards for buildings and certain standards for inspection. But it should be a lot easier than it is, a lot easier, and it should be faster.
that's why that house was built down there, it's just, it didn't look,
No.
it never looked right.
No.
The street.
And then we've got stormers.
Well, you have to pay extra for common sense.
Yeah, our storm drains work. This Main Street floods.
No.
Well, I mean, the way the water runs down from Brad's lot, down Wall Street, in front of our house, it's that deep somewhere.
15 minutes,
Yeah, but it goes way fast. I mean, it works.
no matter how much rain, that's the thing, is there already no sit, retention, in other words, it's designed to hold the water, I mean, all, we're letting that out at once. Like we get the detention pond here, same way for Mike's, there's fluid down to it, there's some, it'll be gone. In other words, but it just takes a little bit of time to grow. No. I'm thinking, we need to extend this meeting a little bit.
Yeah, well,
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Ordinance 2026-01.
Okay, so, Jim already gave a little history, so, we received an ordinance from the county because we are, the fiscal body of our town serves as a voting member for the county law council. So to the requirements, I have to submit this to the county auditor before August 28th. We are going to introduce this ordinance tonight, so I'm just going to read it. We will have the public hearing on the 25th, and then the council can vote, so I have ample time to get this to the auditor. So I'm going to read this, and then I'm just going to read it tonight. Ordinance 2026-01, ordinance modifying local income tax rates for public safety in Boone County, Indiana. Whereas the Boone County Local Income Tax Council, Boone County Lowit, is a county adopting body for public safety local income tax in Boone County, Indiana. The members of Lowit desire to provide adequate funding for public safety services throughout Boone County. Whereas Indiana Code 6-3.6-6 authorizes the allocation of local income tax revenue for public safety purposes. Whereas the AMHEADS Volunteer Fire Department, Jamestown Volunteer Fire Department, and Thorntown Volunteer Fire Department provide essential fire protection and emergency response services to residents and property owners within Boone County. Whereas the Advance Volunteer Fire Department, Jamestown Volunteer, Thorntown Volunteer, each have requested additional funding through the public safety local income tax to support the continued provision of fire protection and emergency response services. Whereas the Boone County Lowit finds that maintaining and enhancing fire protection and emergency response services promotes health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Boone County. Whereas the Boone County Lowit finds that an increase in the public safety local income tax is necessary to provide additional funding for public safety purposes and support the volunteer fire departments serving Boone County. Now therefore be ordained by the Boone County Local Income Tax Council as follows. Section 1. A need now exists to modify the local income tax rates imposed in Boone County, Indiana in the following manner. Public safety, IC 6-30 or 6-3.6-6, existing lit rate 0.50, proposed lit rate 0.51. Section 2, from the additional local income tax amount generated by the proposed increase to the public safety rate. Indiana Code 6-3.6-6, the following qualifying volunteer fire departments shall receive a specified amount of the tax revenue to be distributed under this section. Service provider and each Advance, Jamestown, and Thorntown each receive $166,666. Any remaining revenue collected from this 0.01 increase that is not included in the above mentioned distribution amounts to the Advance, Jamestown, and Thorntown Volunteer Fire Department shall be distributed in proportion to the Boone County and its cities and towns within Boone County. This increase to public safety local income tax rate authorized herein is intended to generate new revenue for public safety purposes, including distributions to the volunteer fire departments identified in this ordinance, while preserving the existing distribution amounts and allocations to municipalities and other recipients under current law. Section 3, the Boone County Auditor shall distribute the amounts identified in Section 2 in accordance with Indiana Code 6-3.6 and any applicable guidance of the Department of Local Government Finance. This ordinance shall become effective January 1, 2027 with the modified public safety local income tax rate to be imposed and distributed in accordance with applicable statutory deadlines. As Mayor of Boone County Local Income Tax Council, Town of Athens. So we will have that special meeting on the 25th.
Little explanation, like I said, I need at least 12 sets of new permit gear. We watch TV, you see these guys dancing through these houses, stand up and stuff. Nothing would happen. The temperature in modern buildings is about 1,600 degrees here in the thing. Our turret gear is rated at 700 degrees. What that rating at 700 degrees is? That means that the firefighter will get a second-degree burn at 700 degrees. Our fire gear is not fireproof, it's fire resistant. In other words, if it's 300 to 400 degrees, my guys are okay. If it goes much higher than that, then they're going to get hurt. And even if there's a possibility of water induced into accidentally, you get steam burn through your gear. I've been steam burned myself because I need to put the close to the window. But I need to gear, if I can't put those guys in health, second-rate gear or out-of-date gear. I mean, like I said, that's all it says. The other thing is, look at the building we have in Dover is 20 years old. It's a 20-year-old building. This building is 16 years old. It means the furnaces and infrastructure of this building is 16 years old. It's going to be replaced. Probably with any time, and maybe like we can make it through this winter. We don't have money for that. But our money for turn gear, we have money for the roof, we have money for the stuff. I don't know what we'll do. I mean, if we have a major failure, I mean, I got a water heater at Station 2 that's been down for 9 or 10 months. We haven't had the money to replace it. So we're hoping that we can get this passed and we can start fixing some stuff up where we're putting money back in a fund, a building maintenance fund. If something breaks, we got the money to do it right away. We also got some equipment we need to work on, do some upgrades on existing equipment because all the stuff is maintained fairly well, but it's old. Our tanker that we have here in Advance is 26 years old, and the one we have in Dover is 32 years old. We put in for a grant replacement. Doesn't mean we're gonna get the grant. The truck we bought here was $125,000 in 2000. Replacement, the exact replacement is $500,000. We don't have enough money. I mean, I'm hoping somebody could, maybe some person will write a check for $500,000 to buy a new truck. Even if we do, it's gonna be 2 to 3 years before we get it. This quick explanation of what's going on. I don't know what we're doing. It's terrible. I mean, the increase in runs and utilization on our equipment is, like I said, we're gonna start replacing stuff because it's gonna start breaking down because we're using a lot more water plant. Okay, I got that so far. New plant ordinance.
Okay, ordinance 2026-02, an ordinance to establish the Comcast Make Ready Fund, Fund 6307, whereas the town of Youngstown has entered into a full attachment license agreement with Comcast of Indiana, Kentucky, Utah LLC licensee, whereby licensee is permitted to install and or maintain attachments on electric distribution poles owned by the town and return for certain full attachment fees and make ready costs to be paid by the licensee. And whereas the town desires to establish a new fund, the Comcast Make Ready Fund, to receive Make Ready funds from the licensee pursuant to the agreement and provide mechanism for appropriation and accounting of these funds used. Now therefore be it and is hereby ordained by the town council of the town of Athens, Indiana as follows. Section 1. Funds established, the town council of the town of Athens, Indiana town council does hereby create Fund 6307, which is designated as the Comcast Make Ready Fund and shall be the depository fund of Make Ready funds received pursuant to the agreement. Funds deposited in the Comcast Make Ready Fund shall be used solely for costs associated with Make Ready work on the town's electric distribution poles. Any interest earned with the funds deposited in the Comcast Make Ready Fund shall remain in the fund. All expenditures must be appropriated by the town council. Section 2, fund termination. Upon termination or expiration of the agreement, any funds remaining in the Comcast Make Ready Fund shall be transferred to the town's electric utility fund or such other fund as the town council may designate by resolution. Section 3, internal controls. Internal controls shall be designated, implemented, and documented to provide reasonable assurance that the funds in the Comcast Make Ready Fund will be safeguarded and used in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. Section 4, severability. If any section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held to be invalid or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect the validity or constitutionality of any other section, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance.
What this really means is, Sherry's got to account for in detail the money from Comcast to Make Ready and make it available for Board of Accounting to make sure she's not putting it in her pocket or remedial.
Well, and we had a construction fund, but I used that for Smith's and it wasn't done. And so I didn't, for accounting purposes, I just wanted it clean. So, yeah. And effective date, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from after its passage.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve this? Do we need to do it?
I'll make a motion to suspend this.
First,
I'll make a motion to approve the order.
Second. Yeah, it's gone.
okay,
I'm gonna forget this sign real quick. Oh, yes.
Say that it's like 51 cents per thousand value of the home, is how they do the tax when they,
you know, when the state can have a CPC.
they just up my value on my house and all that. Scheme rate. I paid over $2,000 now for taxes.
Just really, just keep raising
We're gonna, that's it.
I live closest to the fire, and I can have a location, have a little.
Just into the finish.
I make a motion to in this meeting.
Oh, where's the eye?
Thank you, Dale. Get out of here.
I mean, yeah.
You should be in the living order. This would just be, this would be the opening statement.
Right, so-
For a second, you're from my birthday.